I'm here to record a video for the Haves and the Have-Nots, Season 4, Episode 10, I believe. This week's episode was titled Beg for What You Need, Honey. Minus the honey, but that's how I interpreted the title. So, of course, we'll get to the reason as to why the episode was titled that, but let's start where we left off with the police officer in the house with Jeffrey. At this point, Jeffrey is getting irritated to the max. He's not playing these games with a police officer anymore. Like, basically, don't sexually harass him because you don't want to be honest with who you are. So Jeffrey basically reads him his rights, and the police officer is somewhat speechless to the point where he starts getting uncomfortable, and you can tell that he's getting ready to leave. Well, at this point, Candace walks through the door. Okay, even better, because Candace is like, "What are you doing here?" So he says, "Oh, well, you had a break-in at your house. It was Quita Maxwell. And I also heard that 3 guys came in, but only 2 guys left out. Do you know Quita Maxwell? Was she supposed to be coming here?" Whatever the case. For some strange reason, Candace covers up for her, and I didn't understand that, because this could be a perfect opportunity to get Quita put in jail, at least for a short period of time, because she was breaking and entering. But maybe they just don't want to fully burn bridges or piss off Quita Maxwell. But whatever the case, so the police officer leaves. He's really digging too deep. He might figure out what's going on. When he leaves, I understand that Jeffrey has been through. Sorry, y'all, my pen. I understand that Jeffrey has been through being sexually harassed, and he's just had the longest couple of days and dealing with Wyatt and all of this stuff, but his attitude was absolutely insane. It was ridiculous. If anything, Candace should have been the one that was upset, knowing that Jeffrey was something like a best friend to her, and Jeffrey knew who hit her brother all along. He was in the hospital dying, and Jeffrey didn't say anything because he was protecting his friend that is like a loose cannon that he happens to be in love with. So Candace has every reason to be upset, but Jeffrey has a little attitude, and he's like, "Where's my keys? Where's my keys?" And Candace is like, "I don't know." He said, "Well, I'm looking for my keys." He must have been looking on some app, and it says that they're here. Then he goes into the backyard, and he says something like, did he say give me a shovel or something? I don't know, but basically it's in the clear burial plot that Quincy is in. So Benny must have buried it with him. I don't know if it was on purpose or on accident, but whatever the case, Candace says, "Well, you're going to have to call AAA. You're not, or a locksmith. You're not getting those keys back." And then she has to finally buckle down and tell him what has happened. And Jeffrey is so stupid. He's getting extra loud. He's saying, "You buried him here?" I'd be like, "Well, dang, just put us in jail." like, that's just crazy. Jeffrey, what are you not thinking? I know you've been through stuff, but chill out. Whatever. You know she has a nosy neighbor. Whatever. So then she decides to, the scene shifts from there. Jeffrey leaves, his little attitude, whatever. I don't know the exact order, but let's go to Veronica. So Veronica, she does her little exit out of the jail with her natural hair. And then she decides to drive around to the back to talk to Quita. And Quita is like, "Something's going on with my brother. You have to help me, all of this stuff." Basically, and she tells her, "Don't go home because your husband set you up to get killed." And she said that doesn't make any sense. Well, Quita don't have all the full details. It's not David Harrington that set her up, but this kind of has Veronica's mind churning now, and who knows, she could be plotting something against him. You just never know. So she shouldn't have opened up her big mouth if she didn't have all the facts. She should have just simply said, "I know that you're being set up. Do not go home." Okay. Whatever the case, we'll get back to Veronica later. Let's go to Candace and Erica. They're really trying to figure out what they're going to do about this, getting this money for war. And so they're thinking, okay, maybe we can mortgage the houses and Benny's business, and Candace will pay it back, and that way, like, they'll get war off of her back. And Erica thinks it's a good idea for Candace to tell Benny what's going on with War. So Candace goes to Benny's towing company, and um, she presents the idea to him of suing the Criers. He doesn't really want to do that. He's not about that life. Okay, he won't do that. So then she says, well, how about mortgaging the properties? But she says all this after she had a failed attempt at telling him about War. So she wanted to tell him about War and to not go into business with War, but then War, he's like lurking in the shadows. He comes out of the back room, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, now she really can't say anything. And the problem with Benny is that Benny is a hothead. So even if she told him and she said, hey, be discreet, act natural, I do not want War to know our plan, Benny will just blow up and be like, okay, who do I need to kill? You see what he did with Quincy. So when he got him in the car accident and all of that. So she can't tell Benny. So that's a little frustrating in itself. Okay. Let's go to, so they decide to, like, okay, we're gonna at least meet with the lawyer to talk to a lawyer. He doesn't want to mortgage the property. She doesn't really want to do it either because she doesn't want to lose his trust, because he's very disappointed in her these days because he was the only one that had some type of faith in her. Okay, meanwhile, Erica is like, I'm going to get started on the paperwork to mortgage these properties because you need it. This is your life. I know that you want your brother to trust you, but this is your life, so get over it. Okay, so then they meet with the lawyer. They decide, you have a really good chance of winning. Benny's not sure if he wants to do it. They want the grandpa and the mother of the little girl that died to be a part of it, because then they'll have a stronger case, and really they will just end up settling out of court. Well, Benny is still unsure, but Candace just lies and says, okay, he's going to do it. So she gets in contact with the grandpa. Okay. And they're supposed to be meeting over her house, but that'll be in next week's episode. Now, let's jump to another very important part of this episode would be Wyatt. Before I get to Wyatt, let's do Catherine and Jim. So they're trying to work with each other, because the thing that they do have in common, even if they don't love each other, they love their kids. And they're concerned at this point because Catherine has found out that he was given his inheritance money and he can't handle that, and that money will kill him. And she informs Jim, and Jim basically like fires her up. You need to do what you have to do, make sure you find him, all of this stuff. So at this point, it's really hard to feel sorry for Wyatt. And I absolutely understand that he has an addiction. At the same time, he is a butthole when he is sober. He does not care at all that he has killed a little girl. And he thinks that he is immortal at this point. So I don't know what's going to happen with him, but it's clear he can't handle all that money. He didn't even want anybody else to touch the drugs or anything. Like, he's just gonna, like, I don't want to speak too soon, but we all kind of basically see what direction this is going in, when he's basically having a drug party with girls in a hotel room. And it is kind of, like, sad to watch. So they're concerned about that. So we shall see what happens with that. If this is a fatal ending that we're going to get from this season, there's a lot of fatalities that could possibly happen. Leading me back to Veronica Harrington. She shows up to her house, but she has some type of like camera system on her iPad or whatever. She has her tablet to be able to see like certain sections of her house and who's in her house. So she sees a shooter sitting in her house. So she is slick. She invites Maggie Day over so Maggie can come and speak to her in person, but really she's going to want Maggie to open the door, and at that point, Maggie will be dead. So you never know, but this whole episode, David has been rushing around looking for Veronica, and he finally got the address to her house because he got it from Jennifer, the DA, and he's on his way over there. So, but we know that the shooter, he was instructed to shoot the first person that walks through the door. So at this point, I'm a bit concerned because I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be Veronica. It's not gonna be her because she knows about the shooter. It could be David. It could be Maggie. I don't really know. It could be Wyatt that's gonna die from an overdose. I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. It could be Candace is not gonna die. War, he needs to die because he's a problem. Okay, but let's get to the meat of the episode, which is the reasoning for the title. So the title was, God, I just said the title. What is the title? Oh, beg for what you need. So Catherine still had Hannah working in the house. This whole episode, Hannah is like digging through couch cushions and looking through all the purses and everything, and she's getting her money because she said, well, if Catherine's not going to pay me my money, I'm going to find my money and take my money that she owes me. So she gathers up all of this cash, goes to Catherine and says, look, I got $900 and something right here. That means you owe me $600 and something more dollars. I'm not stealing anything. I'm taking what you owe me, and I will be back on the 1st, and you need to give me the rest of my $600 and something dollars. And Catherine is like about to break down crying. She's like, there's so much going on. Wyatt has this money, and he doesn't need it. He's going to kill himself, and I can't handle losing 2 kids, and I don't have anybody. I don't have any friends. I mean, I really can't make it through this. And you can tell a part of Hannah feels sorry for her, but she's like, sorry, like I need to be in this for me at this point. So it is a little sad, but Hannah's like, you're not leaving me here hostage, or do you think I'm your slave or something? And Catherine said, oh no, it's totally not like that. That's how you were treating her, and you were treating her like she needs you, like you're gonna do what I say. Like, this friendship line has boundaries. We're not real friends because I can control you. Like, that was really messed up. So whatever the case, Catherine starts pulling off all of her jewelry, giving it to Hannah, and getting all this money and giving it to her and saying, just take it, take everything you need. I just need you here with me. I need you to be my friend. And I'm looking at that like, her jewelry is probably worth a pretty penny. And, that extra cash, you do kind of need it. Like, as far as you're concerned, like, you're going to be taking care of your grandson. Like, you legit need this. Like, you can still make, like, a grand exit and, like, storm out, but grab your stuff, girl. So then Hannah says, no, I don't want that. I don't want anything of yours. Well, clearly you do, because you went looking through her stuff to go find $900 and something dollars. And the fact that she just has $900 and something dollars just sitting around the house in purses and clothes and couches and stuff, are you serious? That is rich people for real, because I get excited if I find extra $5 in any of my coats or pants. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to buy? But whatever the case, Hannah just storms out. Catherine looks broken down. Hannah goes to the hospital to check on her grandson. The doctor says he's doing great, but you can't go see him. You have to talk to social services or social welfare or child welfare or whatever. And so then, what is that girl? The girl that is the social worker, she comes, Aaliyah, that's her name. She says, I'm sorry, you can't see him. The court has decided to give the baby to the mother. As we all know, she was threatened by Candace, and she was threatened, and she had to give the court a recommendation that the baby really belonged with the mother. So Candace should be going up there to pick him up sometime soon, and Catherine is distraught, but there's really nothing she can do about it. And she can tell that Candace has something to do with it because Aaliyah has like a little like bruise on her face, kind of in the same spot where this unwelcome visitor is. It's cool. That's why I put my bang on the other side, so that the oil and whatever. But anywho, that was this week's episode. A lot happened as usual. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. In the meantime, please like, comment, and subscribe, and check me out at mrsblogaholic.com. Thanks. Bye.